good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Entrepreneur Life. I'm B. Michelle, the brand coach. Today we have an awesome show lined up for you today. Our special guest is Ms. Michelle Hosley with Into Spaces Design. So she's going to be coming to you and talk to you about her interior design business and how she got started. But before we jump to that, let's get into our business tip for the day. So our business tip for today is to never stop networking. So many of you already know that follow me through social media, know that I'm big on networking. I think I've gone to, I can't even count how many networking events that I've actually attended over the course of the 5 years that I've been in business. Because networking is extremely important, and you meet a lot of great people. It helps you, get some insight to your business. You get to meet other people that you could possibly partner with. So we have a few tips that I want to share with you today on networking and why networking is really important. And one of the things that networking helps you help you build connections. And connections is really important when you're starting a business or whether you're in business, because as we all know, relationships are key. So those relationships have to start somewhere. And they typically start at a networking event or when you meet someone. And here's the thing about it. You don't necessarily have to go to a networking event to network, because every time you really meet somebody, whether it's in a grocery store, if you're getting your car fixed, when you engage in conversation with someone, that's networking. And especially if you keep in touch with them and include them and add them to your social network, that's networking. So one of the things about networking is that's a great way for you to build relationships with people, to be able to ask for advice and talk to them about business, because that's one thing that you guys have in common as for meet another entrepreneur. You can kind of get insight on how they built their business. They can help you with insight on ways to go for you to build your business. So networking is really key. The third thing is that networking is also an investment. So a lot of people think that when you go to a networking event, or especially at the networking event, that you just go and that you're automatically going to just do business with someone. It doesn't really work like that. So the purpose of going to a networking event is for you to actually meet people to build a relationship with. And so when you meet people that you feel like you can provide value to them and they can provide value to you, you tend to, you start a conversation, you keep in touch with each other, you send emails, you exchange text messages, you do all of those things. And that's because that's part of building up the relationship. So it's a time investment thing. And you don't just do it one day and not do it again, or you just do it for a couple weeks. That's an ongoing relationship that you're building, because 9 times out of 10, people really like, especially the small business platform, people like to do business with people that they know and people that they trust. So when you have that time, when you take that time to get to know another person and get to know a little bit about them personally and get to know about their business, you're building that relationship so that way they feel comfortable referring you to someone in their network, as well as vice versa. You can actually feel comfortable referring them to people that you know in your network. And the greatest gift really of networking and building relationships with people is that you actually have now access. Once you build that relationship, you actually have access to their whole network, to people that you probably would have never met, situations that you may have never been in. So just to give you an example, I actually planned an event for Phi Beta Sigma fraternity back in 2016. The actual event was in Albuquerque. And so through that event, I met a lot of people locally in Albuquerque, as well as members of Phi Beta Sigma as well. And one of the actual people that I met, we stayed in touch with each other. And they just recently contacted me to ask me to help on a program and a project that they have going on, actually internationally. So that relationship, that seed that I planted back in 2016, because we kept in touch with each other for the past 2 years, he didn't hesitate to call me. and ask me for my help with this project. So sometimes when you meet people, it may not be instant. You may not get to work with them immediately, but that relationship is what solidifies and builds to where that when they need you or when they know someone that may need your service, they're there for you. So the other thing is that if you're looking to start a business, and it's always a fun time. Starting a business is like the most, like that beginning is where you have all the fun. And sometimes it's work too, but it's really exciting in the beginning. But networking, you can also network to help you start your business. So by going to networking events and meeting people, even before you actually start, is a great way to start building up your resources, building up your support system for the business that you're about to start. Because one thing is that you actually get to have insight ahead of time before you actually jump all the way in. You get to pick people's brain and see what they did, see what resources are out there, see what information is there. You can really actually even build a whole client base before you even start your business and create followers and create a support system. So networking even prior to starting a business can be very effective in building and growing your relationships. So you get to meet a lot of like-minded people. And as you network and as you grow, that's going to be really important, building your circle and building a circle of people where you guys have things in common, whether it's the same industry or maybe even it's a product, but just even your business mindset and how people look at business is really super important. So you want to make sure that you surround yourself and build a good support network as well. The other thing is also you get to learn about different businesses. And one of the things that I enjoy about networking, and I meet so many people just through in different industries, like was it last week, I actually met with a guy that does invoice funding. And that was so new to me. Pretty much he helps if you have a business, you do business with a major company, and let's say they're not going to pay you for 30 days. So his company will come in and buy the invoice. So that way you can keep your stream of income and keep your revenue on target. So that was really, that's a good person to know. We're both in a small business realm. I meet a lot of people that do a lot of contract work. And sometimes they don't necessarily get paid right away when they do the job. Sometimes they don't get paid for like 30 or 60 days after. So here's a great resource now that I have for my clients that they can utilize it and actually keep their money, their stream of revenue coming in and, be able to buy things, grow their business in a timely fashion. So that's one of the things about networking, which you should always, as a small business owner, especially, and the thing about it is you have to see what your market looks like. Every city is different. City I live in happens to be a networking city. Everything about San Antonio is small business based, and it's about who you know and building those relationships. And a lot of business takes place just on relationships alone and networking. So that's why one of the things that you really should always at least make an effort to try to network and meet people outside of your industry, as well as know what's happening in your industry so you can partner with other people. So that's our business tip for the day, is to never stop networking. It's an ongoing process every day, all day. So we're going to change it up a little bit today and jump into our in your business segment, which y'all know this is my favorite segment because we get to kind of dig deep into a person's business and see why they started the business, what are they currently doing, get to know a little bit about them, and for them to share with us. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest, Ms. Nichelle Hosley, the owner of Into Spaces. Did I get that right? Come on. Welcome, Ms. Nichelle.
Thank you for having me.
Now say the name again so I don't want to mess it up.
Into Spaces Interior Design. Into
Spaces Interior Design. Okay. So, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us today. So, I have to give you guys a little insight. So, when I first messaged Nichelle and asked her to be my guest, she was like, "Who, me?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm talking to her. She was like, "I can't believe it." So she was a little surprised because it was a bit random. But I always see her post and always definitely been a good supporter. And I was like, I love her to death. And I was like, you know what? This is our time, our chance to really finally get to chit chat, although it's on camera. Because both of us, being busy, we haven't really had a chance to really sit down and, and kind of see what each other do and learn a lot about each other's business. So I figured, let me take this opportunity, because it's always been somebody that I've admired since I've been here in San Antonio, and I think she's doing some awesome things. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. Well, I am originally from Virginia.
Okay, East Coast.
Yes, East Coast. Okay. Yeah, I got here to San Antonio, Texas by way of my amazing husband, Art Hosley. Hey, babe. He is retired Air Force now, and when we visited here years ago, I told him I want to live here.
Oh, wow.
And so he made it happen.
That's great. But when I visited here years ago, I never thought that I'd live here.
I love it. I love San Antonio.
Oh, it definitely has grown on me, for sure. It definitely has grown on me. But it is a good city. It's a good city to be a small business in.
It is.
That is one thing about this city. It's definitely a good city to be a small. So tell us, how did you really get into interior design?
Okay, well, kind of random also.
Okay.
You talked about a little while ago. But I'm actually a licensed nail tech. So I lived in Florida prior to coming here.
Okay.
And I had a nail salon for like 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good little while.
So I practically raised my kids in my salon. And, it was a great business. I was very successful at that. And then we moved here, and I started working for the salons on the Air Force Base.
Okay.
And so I did that for a little while, but I wasn't fulfilled anymore. I just
didn't
want to do it anymore.
Come start tugging at you.
Yeah, and so I've always had a passion for decorating, design, or what have you. My mom is a big contributor to that. She's heavily into that as well. And so one day I just decided, I don't want to do nails anymore.
Okay.
So then I was like, well, what am I going to do? And so I started kind of exploring my passions and thinking about what is it that I have fun doing and all that kind of stuff. And lo and behold, I got an advertisement in my mail from St. Mary's University.
Oh, wow.
About interior design, a little introduction class. And so I jumped on that, and I took this little class, me and a few other ladies that are still like some of my closest friends and colleagues. And then after I took that introduction class, just to kind of see if that was something I wanted to do, they offered a both residential and commercial continuing education program. I'm on the other side of 50. At that time I wasn't, but at the same time I didn't want to go back to school for whole years. And so I figured I'd do the continuing education program, and here I am.
So how has it been so far?
It has been good. It's work. Just like anything else,
Yes, it is work.
It is work.
It's like having another, when you have a full-time job or have another job and a business, it's like you're going to work twice, but at least one of them is totally for you.
Absolutely, because that is my story as well, because I work full-time for an interior design showroom here in town, or in Stone Oak, Interior Trade Cartel. And what they do is interior designers, realtors, builders, they're our clients. And so it's kind of like the best of both worlds working there. And so, that's my story. But having your own business, it does take a lot of work, because literally if you don't work it, you don't make money.
That is so true.
So,
Yes. So what would you say has been like your challenge, your number one, actually jumping into it? What challenges did you kind of face just going from a nail tech to interior?
Well, first I had to get past the fear of talking to people. As ironic as that sounds, I know it sounds crazy, because for 15 years I had people up close and personal and talking to them. But now you're talking about trying to sell them a product. I had to sell them me. And so I had to get past the fear of trying to reach out and get my own clientele. And, once I did that.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that's like one of the number one things conversations that I have with entrepreneurs, especially those people that are thinking of becoming one. Unfortunately, once you make that decision and you decide you want to start your own business, introvert is not an option. Being an introvert is not an option.
Absolutely.
Because you're your brand, and you're your support, and you're everything.
Absolutely.
Unless, like I said, unless you have $20,000 plus to hire a marketing and hire somebody to be the face of your company, you're it.
Right.
So you do have to jump over that hurdle of, you know, speaking to people, what to say, how to introduce yourself, you know, and going through all of that, especially when you're not used to it, especially on your end, you're probably used to people who are also talking to you
and coming to me.
Yeah.
Just they look me up and come to me.
Yeah.
In interior design, it's still kind of the same way once you get yourself out there. Just like some of the tips that you talked about in networking, I do a lot of that. I'm always at, you know, events within my industry and some other industries as well. And so just getting out there and, you know, putting yourself out there and getting comfortable with.
And that's the thing that's important. Yeah, because you have to, that's one of the things that's really important, that once you get started, you have to find your level of comfort and find your zone and your mode, and then just kind of just stick with it. Yeah. But you have to actually try.
Right.
So,
yes, you do.
You have to actually step out there and actually try. So now that you're kind of up and running, you've been doing this for a while, what advice would you give someone that's interested in interior design, stepping into that industry?
Definitely get some education. One of the things that I face, or me and my colleagues that we face in this industry, is that people treat our craft as a hobby.
Right.
And it's not. Right. It's a livelihood. And so I would say get education so that you have something to stand on. And because if you treat yourself or your business as a hobby, that's how people will treat it. So I would definitely say get some education first and make sure that it is what you want to do, because if you're planning to go into interior design and you want your own business, you're going to have to work.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of designers out there. But you're going to have to work, and you're going to have to figure out that thing that's going to set you apart from the rest.
So I have to ask this question. It's on topic, but off topic. So have you ever thought about going on HGTV to their show?
Heck yeah.
That they do the trading spaces.
Not trading spaces.
The one where they do the interior design competition.
All of them. Whatever show they
I thought about that, and I was like, I thought she would be a good guest on there. I don't know if they still do that show, but they did have one where it's interior design competition. They give you like a little trailer, and you gotta
a little white box.
Yeah, you gotta pretty much spruce it up, or they give you 200 square feet, and you gotta make it happen.
Yeah. I think I've imagined myself on probably every show. You know, every single show that's probably ever come on HGTV. I've probably just kind of envisioned myself being on it, but you know, who knows?
Hey, you got. Next time they have an audition, put your name in the hat.
You never know.
So tell us about, who is your target audience? Who's your target client? Like, if you have to pretty much describe your ideal client, what would him or her look like?
On a steady basis, my ideal client has been on a smaller level, and a lot too because I work full time. But on a smaller level, that client that maybe just moved into a new home and wants some decorating help. I do a lot of consultations where a lot of times I just sell them my time, tell them what they can do, and I keep it moving. But small room redos. You know, just smaller projects are my niche right now.
Okay, so but on a bigger level, you say you typically work with like home builders and
I've worked with home builders before, and realtors. Pretty much. Honestly, if it comes my way, I'm gonna figure out how to make it happen, whether it's big or small.
I got you.
So
No, and I mean. And even in there, like I always tell people, like definitely having your niche works, but that doesn't mean that you can't do anything outside of what your target audience or your niche may be. So that's a good thing, because you have to open yourself.
Limited,
you don't want to be limited. You want to make sure that you put yourself in the best possible position to win and to to grow your brand. So. Well, I definitely want to thank you for taking the time. I know you're super, super busy.
I am.
So she's actually off to do a consult right after this. So before you go, just let everybody know where they can find you, how they can contact you, follow you, get your services, and everything on social media, whatever information you want to give out.
Yeah, I am on both Facebook and Instagram under my name, Nichelle Hosley. Also, I have Instagram and Facebook for my business, Into Spaces Interior Design. Oh, and then we also have coming up Interior Design Meets Fashion. And that is a fashion show. And we found some real cool ways on merging interior design and fashion. And so that show is going to be November 16th.
November 16th.
At the Brick at Blue Star. And so hopefully you can make it out.
Yes, it's on my calendar. So just real quick, actually, just give us a little bit, because I meant to ask you about it earlier. But give us just a little insert, a little bit about it.
Well, the way it got started is that with the company that I work for, Interior Trade Cartel, we wanted to have a charity event.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how it was built. And so what we did starting off, we had students from both Incarnate Word and the Art Institute to come to our showroom. They got upholstery and drapery fabrics, made some of the most amazing pieces. We had a runway show, and then after the show, we auctioned those pieces off and donated money to charity. The last show that we did, we donated to Ronald McDonald almost $7,000.
Wow,
and so
that was
it was really cool. So this time around, we're doing things a little bit different, where it's going to be more showcasing.
Okay.
From some of our local interior design boutiques or furniture stores that we have here in town, along with the runway show. So it's going to be epic.
All right, so November 16th. Make sure you follow Nichelle on Facebook, Instagram, all those good places, and be at the show. It's going to be awesome. It's on my calendar. I'm definitely going to be there. So I thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I look forward to seeing you. So Nichelle has to run, but the show must go on. So we're going to move into our business spotlight, and Ms. Nika is going to tell you about our business spotlight.
Well, hello, my friend. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's been a good day. And I have another event I can add to my calendar.
Yes.
So that's always great. Well, today's business spotlight comes from BSG, or Builder Services Group. And that is actually right on the back of, if you want to see the actual ad of BSG, it's on the back of the magazine right there that Nichelle has. And BSG is, again, Builder Service Group that is home security and entertainment. So they do home automation, home security, alarm monitoring, and home theater. If you already have, because a lot of times you go to an office or a home and there's already a security system thing hanging up, but it just isn't connected.
Right.
If you have one of those, $14.95 a month, and you're completely secured. If you want to make sure that it goes to your, they're ready. So that's the audience saying, yes.
You win a system.
Right, absolutely. And then if you want for it to be mobile, it's only $19.99 a month.
Oh, wow.
In fact, if you want to automate your entire home, because a lot of homes now have built-in security systems.
Right.
But there's houses that we live in these days, especially over here on the east side, that are 100 years old. You can turn any home into a smart home because Wi-Fi is a genius.
Yes, it is.
So no matter how old your home is, whether you have it in there or not, you can get automated garage system. You can get a full doorbell with the video
the camera and the video and everything.
Video cam. You can get the automation sprinkler system. If you get these plugs, this is my favorite, B. You get these plugs so you can work with those remotely. So say you want to use one plug for your crock pot because you like to keep food on, but you don't. You can control your crock pot from anywhere. You can put one in your curling iron. You can put one in whatever you want to control in your house anywhere. You use these little special plugs for it. It's so awesome.
Stop it.
So all of this, you can have your home completely automated for under $40 a month, $39.99.
The whole house?
The whole house, only $39.99 a month. When you mention the one, you get a free smart thermostat. You don't get free farts. But the thermostat will clean the air of your farts. I can tell you that. But you get a free smart thermostat. So guess what the thermostat does?
What does it do?
When you leave your house, and say you live off of 1604.
Right.
So when you leave your house, you program it to when I hit this road, turn everything off.
No.
And as soon as you hit that road, going a certain direction, it will turn everything off in your house. When you hit the road coming back, it'll turn everything on.
So that way the house is cool or hot, depending on if it's winter or summer.
By the time you get home.
By the time.
You're saving money, you're saving energy, and you're saving your pocketbook.
Man.
Free thermostat when you mention the one. So you guys check it out. Basic Home Security.
Basic Home Security.
BSG.
So where'd you meet them at?
They were referred to us actually. So it was,
Oh, wow.
it was a referral, and they're now actually great friends. They're off of Days of Olive. So that's where their office is located. If you look them up on the website, you can check out all their information. They're located at 12702 Cimarron Path, which is right off of Days of Olive.
Yeah, it is. I actually used to live over there. So
yeah. The phone number is 210-877-1222.
Awesome. Well, thank Ms. Nika for our business spotlight. So you guys definitely go check out BSG, and actually you can see them on the One's website and social media Facebook pages. So check them out. Well, speaking of businesses, it's time to move into our next segment of Put Your Best Brand Forward. So I always love this segment because this is where we kind of really give you tips and tricks and strategies on how to really build your brand and what your brand should consist of and all that good stuff. So today, for our show this week and today, our brand Put Your Best Brand Forward tip is actually about your mission statement. So do you have one? Does your business have a mission statement? If not, you definitely need one. So every brand is defined by its mission statement. And pretty much what the mission statement is your why. Why are you in business? What problem are you solving? What do you hope to gain from your business? What do you want to give to people? How do you want to help them? So your brand pretty much, your brand and mission statement, or your mission statement pretty much talks about your brand in that capacity. And so before you even actually get started and even, get a business license and all that, this is one of the things that you really should do first and consider first before you do anything is establishing your mission statement. Who you are as a company, who do you want to be? Who are your who are you going to be speaking to? Because your brand, your mission statement is really based on who your target audience is. So even discovering who that is first. So one of the things that we want to talk about is that your mission statement is definitely pretty much just putting into words very simply your purpose and why. Why does your business exist? So do you want to encourage people to do something in particular? Are you there to does your service or your product give them pretty much make their life any easier? So what is it about your brand? What problem are you solving when you consider your mission statement? The other thing is that what are you passionate about? So your mission statement and your brand statement should be pretty much what you're passionate about. Your business should really be about your passion. So if you're in business and you have a service or a product that's something that you're really passionate about, it'll be easy for you to write this brand statement. So for example, as a brand company, and as we help people build their brand, but our mission statement and what I'm most passionate about is actually helping small businesses pretty much with their foundation and making sure they have a secure foundation to build upon, to build their brand. That is our whole mission, our whole purpose in developing this brand business, is to make sure that we can help as many entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small businesses as possible, help them really build a solid brand and actually build a solid foundation. Because without the foundation, you really can't have the brand because you don't really know where you're going. So your mission statement is kind of like your roadmap to your business. Thirdly, before you can brand, you got to know what value you offer. What value are you bringing to the industry, to the consumer, to your target audience? And that's really, really important because people buy value. So people don't buy products, they really buy value. And so just to give you some clarity, we know you may want a particular thing, and sometimes you buy stuff just because you buy it. But when you make serious purchases, people buy stuff based on the value that it has in their life and the value that they actually can get from it. And how is it going to help their life, make it any better, how it makes them feel. People buy things off emotion, and emotion is value. So when you buy something, you consider about how that makes you feel. So as an entrepreneur, when you're first starting your business, and even if you've already gotten started and you've been in business for a while, it's okay to backtrack and go back, and especially if you haven't developed a mission statement, you really want to go back and sit down and really think about why you're in business, what does your product or your service do? Why? What is the purpose? What do you want your consumers or your target audience to get from your product or service? How do you want them to feel when they use your service or product? So that's really key in brand development. So just remember, as you're starting your business, or if you're already in business and you haven't really developed a solid mission statement, you really want to sit down, take some time, and think about why you're in business, what's your purpose, and what value are you bringing to the industry. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you again for tuning in to Entrepreneur Life, where only the strong survive. We hope you've enjoyed this show. You got some good tips, tricks, and strategies to help you grow your business. And remember, follow us on social media and Facebook at The One TV, The One Media. You can also follow me at Coach B. Michelle, or you can send, or B. Michelle Events, either page. And check out Is the City. You can subscribe to the Is the City page at Coach B. Michelle. And while you're on there, set up a free account. So Is the City is a place for small business owners and entrepreneurs to really grow and market their business. So set up a free account and let's get to work. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.